Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 23, the second to last episode. Alright, so we had Thorfinn take 100 punches. We had that awesome moment when he thought about his dad and was like, no one has enemy, or I have no enemies, no one does. That was a great moment. Almost brought me to tears. It was so good. But yeah, we had Wolf, who I ended up watching a reaction. I talked about how I might go through a reaction up until the point where I've watched to see other people's thoughts on Canute for episode 22. Um, but I also learned that the guy's name that I've been calling like Chief Thane and that guy and just Captain and not knowing who he was, it's Wolf. It was Wolf. And I remember it now after I saw it. I was like, oh shit, that's right. Because we had heard it before. So that was my bad. But yeah, either way, very interesting. I'll talk during the opening about my continued thoughts on Canute. So let's just jump into the episode and see what happens this time. We're going to start here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. All right. I just didn't want to spend too much time in the opening talking about... Okay, we're going right into the opening. So, yeah, hearing it again, I mean, it really is. It's... Even Einar said it, right? He's like, so you're gonna try to save the Vikings, but what about all the people you kill along the way? So... I do still hold on to the belief I talked about last episode where I said that I feel like he's lost his way a little bit in using this idea of saving the Vikings and stuff as a uh justification for his actions, kind of like how other kings have found other justifications for their actions. But I mean, maybe he has a longer term goal. I'll give him that. Is like maybe a lot of people will die in the short term, but if he can save the Vikings, if he can change the Vikings, which I've talked a lot about him trying to stop their looting and pillaging and stuff like that, then maybe in the long run it does save people and it changes people and stuff. So I will give it that possibility, but it does suck in the short term for all the people that are losing family and loved ones and everything to this. So that's my stance. Basically the same as it was at the end of last episode, for the most part. Two paths. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Interesting. The light behind Thorfinn and the darkness around Canute. Jeez. Ugh. punctured through the darkness. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. I will run. Like, it washed everything away. It was just those simple words. Hmm. Damn, Torfin. Damn. He's frustrated. Or he's laughing. Okay. My first thought was, is he gonna laugh? But then I was like, no, not in this situation. But okay. Damn, I should have said it. I thought it was. Hmm. Someone who wants nothing from him. Jeez. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. See, I think this is what he wants for people. People to be able to communicate without, like, he does. I think he does want a better. I think Canute does want a better world. He's just dealing with people that are conditioned to be a certain way, and he's trying to uncondition them. Hmm. Damn. Yeah. He has. My father. Oh, what? Did they leave? He is decked out. He has three swords. He had a quiver on his back. I didn't even see the bow. Wow. Damn. Find another way. Wow. 4 and 1. Mmm. Okay. Cool. Oh. Okay. The army that was supposed to protect him from rebellion, right? Wow. Oh. Hmm. Wow. Okay. Damn. And to think Torfin had such a big hand in that, right? Like, obviously, ultimately, it was Canute's decision to do what he did. Man, this feels like we're going into, like, last episode stuff. Like, we still have half an episode to go, or a little less than half. Like, if they wanted to, I feel like they could wrap up Torfin's stuff right here, and it could end, but we have one more episode. Hmm. Why is he walking? Oh, this is creepy. He's walking like he's in pain? Is he just still recouping from... I mean, his eye is still messed up a little bit in his cheek. Just recouping from taking those punches. Still. Oh. Putting some extra flowers for his family. Dudes sleep it off. A lot of the swelling's down and everything. I wonder how long it's been. Hmm. To Vinland. Damn. Yeah. No. Beautiful. Oh. So grandiose. Hmm. Alright, buddy. Let's go. Oh, brother. Oh. I so want for their lives to be peaceful from here on out, man. I don't know if it'll happen, but I want it so bad. Hmm. Once again, this feels like it could be the last episode. I'm gonna check to make sure that there really are 24 episodes. No, bye guys. Pato lived! They were trying not to look at the corpses because if they saw his body, they were worried they'd be too furious to talk. But he lived! Yes! Hmm. Yeah. Makes sense. Damn. I don't know if we've ever seen Omar thank someone. Damn. Omar's growth. Quite huge as well. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Got himself a little chair out here. Did they carry him in the chair, or was he able to walk out here and then they just had a chair for him to sit? Oh shit. He didn't take any money. Snake. Oh. Roald. Son of Grimm. Cool. The guys who had to run away from their names because of past. Rest in peace, Arnade. Wow. He lost Arnade, probably realizing the shit that he's done. Probably the reason for that tear. Oh, look at him. I mean, he might not be any older, but just the fact that his hair isn't back makes him look older. But also, the first time we saw him was him, like, refusing to work on the farm properly. Oh, carve it. That's how it started. Hey, they're helping out. They lost a lot of people, right? Yeah, build something. See what it's like. Carve it into your flesh. Carve it into the land. That's what Einar said. If everyone can experience, carve it into the sea. Oh shit. Torgo, what are you up to? Carve it into your spoils. Carve it into your enemies. Carve it. Carve it. Yeah, we had this in the beginning, didn't we? Oh, he wants to be able to do it, so carve what you feel into me. Okay, some time has passed because his arm healed. For sure. Makes sense. Damn. Wow, so I guess it's not confirmed nor denied there being a season 3. I looked into this before. But this, I mean, there, at the rate this is going, there could never be a season 3 and I'd be okay with it, the way this has ended. No, speaking of ending, you know? Like, let me confirm that there is one more episode, because I'm pretty sure there is, but... While the credits go. That was a fantastic episode, though, guys. Uh... 24 episodes. Yeah, there's one more. Yep. Okay. Damn. So, obviously we had the conversation continuing with Canute, and you know, Canute was just taken by so much surprise by you know, this man who stood before him and told him like to leave this farm alone, and Canute's like, why would I do that, you know? I came here for a purpose, I'm resolved in my purpose, and that's what I'm gonna do. And Thorfinn's just like, alright, I'll run. And Canute's just like, wait, what? Like, you're not gonna try to fight for your ideals? Like, he's like, no. Like, I'm not gonna fight for this, I don't have much power, there's not much else I can do. That is it, guys, for episode 23. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, so, as I was saying, the whole thing with that conversation and Thorfinn just being like, alright, I mean, I don't want to fight anymore, so I'm just gonna simply run. After Canute being berated by the head of his father, being like, they're just sheep, you shouldn't tell them your plans, you shouldn't give them this much, you know, what's the right word? I almost said clarity, but that's not the right word. It's like the term when people, like, when companies and stuff like that will give you a little more information than you were expecting in regards to like a situation. I can't remember off the top of my head, but whatever. Either way, yeah. Transparency, I think, might be a word that I was kind of looking for. Like, he was kind of, like, open with his plans, but Thorfinn was like, you know, I'll just simply run, and I'll try to gather as many people who you're oppressing as I can, and lead them to a better place than you can give them, right? And basically, Thorfinn was like, don't make my job harder than it needs to be, right? And it's basically like all the people that, you know, because basically the way Thorfinn boiled it down to is Canute's plan was to free as many people as possible, but there was still going to be a few that were oppressed. That's the way Thorfinn explained it. And from what I got out of it is Thorfinn wanted to take those few that are being oppressed and try and save them, while Canute does his part and saves the rest. So it's and basically Thorfinn was just like, don't make my job harder than it needs to be, and then just took off, you know? And with that, Canute just left. And that's crazy that what Thorfinn did was enough for Canute to just leave, and you know, and he stopped all. He wasn't going to oppress any farms in order to take their land, to get their money, to be able to fund him having a military, because this all stemmed with him needing a ton of money to pay for the military force that surrounded him to protect him from the English rebelling. And it's crazy that the sequence of events where he ended up letting go of a large portion of the military that was around him, sending them back to Denmark, which opened him up to an attack from England, but it was an attack that never came, because by sending his military away and showing the trust in the nobles of England, they showed trust back and never staged any kind of coup against him, and it completely changed the dynamic between the ruler and the ruled. So that's crazy and really awesome. And yes, Thorfinn gets some credit for, because I mean, the thing is Canute was going, like, I think Canute had all these good intentions going into this, but he was slowly moving down the path of just becoming just like every other ruler. Like, just go steal all these people's land to satiate his own goals and justify it by saying he's going to try to make the world a better place, you know? And then once he finished this, then the next thing was going to drop, you know? People might be mad about the farms and rebel. This could have been so much worse for him than what ended up happening. And it's very possible that Thorfinn pushing Canute down this path might have led Canute into his own salvation, you know? So it was just really, really cool. I did want to look up, I'm not super familiar with the term admonish. I get the gist of what he meant in the context in which he used it. Warn or reprimand someone firmly, advise or urge someone earnestly, are a couple of the definitions. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the... I wasn't sure if he took it more of like, if admonishment more of like an insult sort of thing, but not really. Just like warn, reprimand, or advise and urge, you know? Like, so he was like, did you just come here to, you know, advise me? And that's where, like, I don't remember if the laughing came before or after that, but, you know, Canute starts laughing, and I wasn't sure, like, how Canute was going to respond to that when we see him, like, shaking and stuff. I thought it was, like, my first thought was, like, laughing, because I guess it could be a situation that you laugh at, but then I was like, no, that'd be stupid. Like, I thought I was dumb for thinking that. Not that it's dumb that the show did it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I thought I was dumb for thinking of it that way. But I was like, okay, no, maybe it's just more of like a frustration kind of thing. But nope, it ended up being laughing. So, yeah. Damn. Okay. And I like how Canute on the boat was saying, I thought you were the only one that was with me, talking to Wolf. And saying how he now has new allies and all that. That was pretty cool too. I like that. But yeah, I mean, potentially, like, we got so much from Canute. I don't know that we're gonna see Canute again this season, but we got so much on kind of like what happened to him. I think the last episode's probably gonna focus on Thorfinn and Leif and Einar and wherever they go next. I think I did see that the next episode name was Home, so I'm wondering if we're going back to... I think they're from Greenland, originally, where the show very started in Season 1. The snowy place and all that, so maybe we're gonna go back there. I don't know if the mom is still alive. She was very sickly. Ylva might still be there. I wonder, you know, who else might be there from the original people. Like, we didn't really know too many other people's names. We had a couple others that were part of, like, the soldiers that left with tours and everything, but yeah, either way, it's going to be interesting if that's where we do go and where we do wrap up the season. So, but them talking at the grave and Thorfinn with this resolve to make sure, like, no one... like, try to create a place where people don't have to just feel like death is everywhere, you know? A place without war, you know? Like, I love it. I can't wait. Like, I love this development for Thorfinn and how much he's changed from Season 1 into Season 2. And I've heard some people that weren't the biggest fans of Season 1, but really love Season 2 because... you know, ultimately, Thorfinn's our main character for the most part in both shows, but there's not much depth to Thorfinn in Season 1, and I will admit that, but I think having so much of Thorfinn the way he was in Season 1 has built up to this point and has made it so much more impactful than if we didn't have as much in season 1 of the way Torfin was to how he is now, you know? Like, the change is just astounding in him. So, that's my viewpoint. I think, and I mean, I still loved a lot of the action and everything. Like, I don't need the main character to be the main character and be my perfect personality, you know? I don't need that. The rest of the story was pretty good for me, but it was more of like a fighting fantasy where we just like saw a lot of cool fights. There was like we had some depth with some of the characters, but a lot of them died and stuff like that. So but building up everything I think is like the main key thing. I mean, it's called a prologue for a reason, you know? So yeah, it was I really enjoyed season 1 still to this point, and season 2 I think getting like I think I had a little bit of whiplash going into season 2, I will say that. Because I had these expectations of this show being a lot about like the war and them marching on these lands and fighting and getting into some of these like emotional moments when we hit families and stuff that these Vikings are like raping and pillaging through their villages and all that and all that. And I got into like the swing of things in season 1, and then we hit season 2 and we're instantly like farming simulator, you know? And there were a lot of like slower moments for me, but there were also a lot of incredible moments. I know we're not done with the show yet. We still have one more episode, and I'm kind of getting into like how I felt about the show as a whole, but sorry, I usually do this in the very last episode, but just I'll real quick wrap this up. Basically, I had a little bit of whiplash going into the season because I expected war and battles and developing the characters further through those battles and everything, and then we're just like on a farm, and really I don't the only real battles we've had, if I'm not mistaken, were the battle on the farm that we just had, and a little bit of Canute's conquest, but not much. And then obviously like the fight with Torgil fighting the soldiers, which wasn't really like a battle, it was more like a slaughter. Torgil like killing the guards and stuff, which brought them into their fight. So there, like, obviously there was some action and stuff like that, but it was just kind of like jarring to me how much the change was, but I still think it was good, if that makes sense. I think the story was incredible, and I think going through it a second time, watching reactions, I enjoyed it so much more now that I kind of knew what to expect going into it, you know? So that I think that really helped. So yeah, and I think the second watch through definitely like I said, it helped bolster my opinion on the season as a whole, and just seeing how much focus. Like, I thought we were just going to get a little bit of focus on Torfin's change, and then everything else was just kind of like slower stuff, but no, it's just so much focus on his change. It's crazy. But, and ultimately Canute's change. So, yeah, great episode, great show so far. We have one more episode, and then we will be moving on to, you haven't seen a poll to replace this, and that is because in my last poll, 2 shows got tied. I ended up making the executive decision of picking the one that I wanted to watch a little more than the other. It was tied between Delicious in Dungeon and Oshinoko. I decided to watch Delicious in Dungeon because one of my friends recommended it to me, and I wanted to talk to him about it, so I was a little biased there. And so I decided that whichever show ended next, Dr. Stone or Vinland, it was supposed to be Dr. Stone, and then Dr. Stone Season 4 started. Now it's going to be Vinland, and I'm just going to make the executive decision to pick Oshinoko since you guys like tied in voting for it. So we'll move into that one next, and then once we get towards the end of Dr. Stone, we'll have a poll to vote for whatever is next. So we will have some polls coming, and we'll have an airing show poll, I think. I have to see what's airing next season to find out if there's any sequels I have to watch, but a potential airing poll coming soon when I finish Guild Receptionist as well. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I actually just realized Yeah, actually, I can watch it tomorrow night. Um, there is one other show I need to watch, Guild Receptionist, because they usually release it on Sundays, and it's Friday, which I think I can watch it Saturday night and then render it and get it out for Sunday. I think that's what I usually do anyway. So either way, regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 more episodes ahead. Technically, you can get the last episode of Vinland right now and the first episode of Oshi no Ko. So check that out if you're interested. Links in the description below should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.